Hello and good morning. Joe Justice here, coming to you live on January 10th, 2023. Can you believe we're already in double digits in the month of January in 2023? It's already going by fast, but here we are in the next year. So I wanted to come to you today and talk about more about CES. We talked about CES yesterday, some of the really exciting stuff that's going on out there. Of course, like I mentioned before, CES is the Consumer Electronics Show, and it is in Las Vegas. It's typically 4 or 5 days. In the past, it's always been about 5 days, and it started back in 1967. Of course, that all got derailed during the pandemic, and it hasn't quite recovered yet, although they say there's 120 some thousand people there. It used to be huge, used to be a massive event that a lot of the consumer brands would present at. But of course, what happened over the years was they began to create their own shows. And of course, Apple, Google, and all of them kind of have their own presentations. But, CES is still a big deal and is still wildly popular and talked about to this day. This year, CES was held through January 5th and January 8th. So that was just over the weekend. So there's some cool and exciting things that were presented there. And I thought we'd dig right into talking some more about those. So let's talk about today. So yesterday we talked about some of the general stuff. Today I thought we would talk about some of the exceptional tech innovations we saw at CES by CNET. So CNET, of course, is a major news organization when it comes to the tech industry. And here we have Eric Franklin presented this. I will put this link to this article in the comments so that you guys can have this to look back on. This was a really cool article with some of the stuff that was going on. So let me pop this in the comments here. There we go. Some cool stuff going on there at CNET this year. Let's dig into some of this stuff here. So after a 2-year lull, CES returns in fighting form. The world's biggest tech companies descend on Las Vegas once more, and they brought with them some remarkable goods. Among other things, we have a flying electric boat, a huge wireless TV, more on that below, and yes, a pee sensor for your toilet. I mentioned that yesterday. It's kind of interesting. So let's go on down and dig on in. First of all, there's LG's 97-inch OLED TV. Now, if you don't know, an OLED is an organic LED. And the organic LED, what gives that a really huge advantage and why a lot of technology is moving in that direction is because organic LED gives you the ability to have true black because the pixels actually go completely off. So that's a big deal because it actually saves power. In the past, previous LED technologies would just lower the power so there wasn't as much light being produced, but it still produced light. So that's why you see the organic LEDs. They first popped up in cell phones, mobile devices, tablets, things like that, because they help save on power. Because no power, anytime you had an actual black pixel, it would not actually use power, which is different. And now it's starting to migrate to regular televisions. Of course, that's making regular televisions faster. I've talked to you guys before about how technology, first of all, it starts out big and clumpy. First of all, it starts out big and clunky and, uses a lot of power, and then it gets refined. And that's, of course, what we're seeing continually with the TV. The TVs, man, they innovate all the time. So the LG M3 series 97-inch wireless OLED TV. 97 inches, which is gigantic, by the way. That's like a projector size screen. It's a behemoth that doesn't skimp on normal high-end TV features. This gargantuan beast of a TV combines fantastic picture technology with a huge size, one of the most exciting TVs in recent memory. What really takes it over the top, however, is it's entirely wireless. Now, that's a big deal. Having a wireless TV, I don't know about you, I never could figure out why they put the wires in the back. It's so hard to get them back there and everything, but this is a wireless TV, so that's going to be pretty cool. And of course, more and more TVs are going to be coming out like that if this one takes off, and I'm sure it will, because I don't know about you, but I'd love to have a wireless TV. It doesn't have a whole lot more information about that particular TV. I assume that it's got power, so it has to have one wire, right? But I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works. So I wish I had a little bit more information. I'll have to look that one up afterwards and see what's going on with it. And then there was the Withings U Scan Withings U Scan, and it will read your pee. So I think I mentioned this yesterday, but this is a urine sensor that was presented at the CES that actually measures certain things in your urine. So it says here in the article, ever imagine you could get on the spot health data at home just by doing a number one? The euphemisms are going to be off the charts for an article like this. You'll soon be able to, with the Worthing's U-Scan pee sensor. The device sits at the front of the toilet where you can pee, and apparently it's the best to sit when you do so for an accurate sample. It collects the urine analysis, and then it sends the results to your phone via Wi-Fi. So that's one of those devices that my first thought right out of the gate is, who is this for? What is this used for? And I've read a little bit more about it since it was presented, and actually, well, the thing that they don't present very well with this is this type of device isn't for everyday people. This is for people with certain medical conditions, like if they have diabetes, and there's some other medical conditions that you can tell a lot of information from the urine, like the pH level, vitamin C levels, things like that. So there's also some women's reproductive technology, women's reproductive care that can be measured through this. And, so there are actually, it sounds kind of strange because, who needs their urine measured? But there are actually some practical applications for this. It's just not an everyday type of thing for most people. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's worth considering. So what do we have next here on the list is the HTC Vive XR Elite. Is like no other VR headset. So I've seen a little bit about this. This is a pretty high-end VR headset at around $1,000. The HTC Vive XR Elite is the latest version of HTC's VR AR headset. So AR is augmented reality, VR is virtual reality, and it's based on our time. And based on our time with it, might be the best Vive so far, with a release date of February at $1,000, $1,099. Yes, the VR headset. Yes, we've seen VR headsets before. So what makes this one special? The main reason it's on the list is its size. The HTC has shrunk the VR headset to almost the size of normal glasses. You can see here it's pretty small. If you're familiar at all with what have been coming out as VR glasses, you can see by this that this is very small. So this could be a game changer. This could be very cool. It's got a diopter in it, so you don't have to wear glasses. So that's cool. That's also useful, and it looks pretty neat. I still don't know. I still always wonder about if VR is going to take off. I would love for VR to take off. And I love VR. I've played with it a little bit. It just still, the whole metaverse, VR universe thing has still never really manifested in my lifetime. And they keep on trying every 5-10 years. They keep on trying to make VR work. And so far it hasn't worked. So we'll see. Up next was the BMW iVision D, a must-see heads-up display. So BMW presented the iVision D, which is a concept car. CES is kind of known for vehicles. They've got a lot of concept car type stuff. Although what was a little bit different this year at CES compared to other years is this year the cars had a big showing. All kinds of concept cars and concepts for cars, like this heads-up display thing, which aren't super common with CES. But this year, I mean, the auto industry is really getting into the technology game, it looks like. This particular device here that we're talking about, yes, the BMW iVision D is concept car. So my first reaction was to take every feature here with a grain of salt. That's very common with concept cars. They never really materialize into anything. But BMW has confirmed that the coolest and most useful feature, the heads-up display, is coming into production in 2025. Instead of a traditional dashboard screen, the D instead uses the entire windshield as a heads-up display. It's an AR display that uses full width of the windshield and includes 5 levels of immersion. Level 1 gives you the essentials, speedometer, some navigation information. Level 2 through 4 increases the information on screen. So that's kind of I've been waiting on that for a long time. Why aren't these automobiles using modern day technology, creating heads up displays, creating the AR, the augmented reality stuff that we see in video games and we've seen in movies for years? The technology's there. I think that Tesla, with the innovations that they've been putting out with electric cars in the last few years, has kind of pushed these traditional car makers to finally include some high-end technology in what they're doing. And I think that's definitely a big winner. And I think that we're going to see more of this kind of stuff. The only downside is, as things stand right now, if you buy a modern day car, it can last you for a good long time. If you take care of it, it could last you for 10, 15 years and upwards of 200,000 miles pretty easily. Now, that's totally different than the world of technology. In the world of technology, you buy a new computer every couple years, you buy a new phone every couple years because things get outdated fast, which might actually be why the automobile industry is embracing technology now, because maybe they don't want you hanging on to that car for 10 years. Maybe they want you out there trying to find the latest and greatest. So who knows? It's interesting. It's good to see that kind of stuff, that kind of innovation is coming to the industry. It's cool to see that stuff at CES. All right, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for coming. Shoot me your comments, your questions. Love to see from you guys. Love to see your emails and your questions and your thoughts on the presentation. Can't wait to do some more and can't wait to talk some more about CES tomorrow. So until then, have a great day and I'll see you then.